have been to the Batlow Cider Fest in New South Wales. It's a fabulous event in a truly beautiful part of the country. It's about 4.5 hours from Sydney via Goulburn, or 1.5 hours southeast of Wagga. Or is that Wagga Wagga?
Wagga Wagga. You can't say
Don't call Wagga Wagga Wagga.
That's right. Definitely worth putting on your calendar. It's on in May each year, and we've got Sarah from the String family to help us out with this. But I have to actually say, in addition, at the Batlow Cider Fest, we had a great time. We also got lucky, and purely by accident, we met one of the nicest families you could ever meet on the road. And we arrived after dark, thanks to Google Maps, and Kay noticed the name on the side of the caravan next to us was the String family and thought, ooh, that's nice, interesting surname. We set up camp, blah, 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 blah. Then later that night, we noticed a friendly-looking bloke next to an open fire. Now, not one to be shy, Kay decided to introduce herself and compliment him on his choice of music.
G'day! Yeah, you make me sound like a stalker. I'm not really. But we did get to know the most wonderful people, Joel and Sarah, who were the stars, really, of the Batlow Cider Fest over the next day. So we've stayed friends, and right now we get to talk to Sarah about the String family's latest and very exciting project at Paronella Park in far north Queensland. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, how you going, guys?
Good, good.
Fantastic.
Tell us, what's up?
Well, we've had a couple of trial runs at our new gig at Paronella Park, which involves playing in the dark in front of a beautiful old castle.
I've seen some photos and video, in fact, of Paronella Park. How would you describe it, Sarah?
I think it's a bit of it's sort of like a dream. It's a bit of a fantasy kind of place. You can see that someone's put in all this effort and a long time ago, and now the rainforest is sort of just growing all around it and really embracing it. And when you walk in, it just feels surreal. It's just got a very calm, mysterious, surreal vibe, and it's like no other place I've been to before.
Some of the photos we've seen are absolutely amazing. I mean, they're just, as you say, it's a surreal place. Takes you out of the real world, for want of a better expression. Because you guys have been travelling, 2.5, 3 years on the road, what was the motivation, apart from let's take an opportunity, what was the motivation to suddenly say, all right, we're going to do 6 months or so in North Queensland?
I guess North Queensland for us is probably the most beautiful place in Australia. It's just so green and lush, and it's just got a real different feel about it. And we came up here 2.5 years ago for the first time, and we saw an advertisement for Paronella Park, and something just really drew us to that. As soon as we saw it, we wanted to go. And I don't know, just the feeling we got in the park was so special, and so we returned again the next year and asked the owners if we could go and play down at the castle for the light up at night time. And once we'd played, they sort of said, oh, this is magic. I think that your music and our castle is a great combo. So
match made in heaven.
Yeah, and then when they offered us the 6 months, we just jumped, because it's kind of, it's a dream job in that you don't often get to play in such a beautiful place, and it's such a unique place. I just feel so lucky that we've been given this opportunity.
They have accommodation at Paronella Park, don't they, or nearby?
In the actual park itself, so right above the castles, they have a caravan park.
Oh, okay.
It's sort of a smallish caravan park nestled up the top of the hill, and then the castles are down the hill. But they also have a big overflow caravan park, which is out the back of their pub, and they can have a lot of caravans and tents and things out there as well. So they do have a lot of room for people. They also have them cabins. So people with caravans or people on the road definitely should come and stay a night or two.
Well, we're going to, that's for sure. And I noticed on social media people saying that they stayed, only intended to stay one night, but then of course they just loved it so much they stayed on so they could do the day tour and then the night tour and then maybe a bit more and investigate the area. So are you playing just at the night time?
That's right, yeah. So the day tour and the night tour are very different. The day tour really talks a lot about Jose Paronella, the man who built the place, and his amazing hydroelectricity. Wait a minute, maybe Joel can tell you about this bit.
Oh, yeah, so in the 1930s, there wasn't a lot of power around in far north Queensland, and Jose, not being an engineer, decided that it would be good to have electricity in his park. So he commissioned, he organised and built a hydroelectric power station from the Mena Creek Falls, and was one of the first hydroelectric generators in Australia, as far as I understand.
I was going to say that would have been an amazing achievement back in those days. Oh, thank you, Joel, for that. That's incredible.
Yes, I don't think anyone else around had power, so they were able to have ice cream and all kinds of things, up at Paronella Park.
Well, that would definitely make it a draw card in the warmer months, that's for sure, and the cooler months.
That's right. Yeah.
Fantastic. All righty. Well, we'll be looking forward to hearing about your first performances. Now, our plan is around about the beginning of July to hit the road full time. We've got a tenant coming into the house. As soon as I can throw everything out of the house, not Kay, of course, we'll be going. It's I had a look on the map, and I'm sort of planning the trip up to Cairns, up that way, Innisfail. It's like 10 days or 2 weeks if you don't want to be travelling 6 hours a day. How did you do it?
Yeah, it's a very long way. We did it very slowly, especially on the way back. I think we only drove, 3 or 4 hours a day, and then we'd spend 2 or 3 days in a town just to try and get to know it a bit. So there's a lot of amazing places to see. And we went inland on the way up and then down the coast on the way home.
Okay.
And yeah, very, very different experience.
So really,
going inland.
3 weeks to a month would be nice, yeah?
I think so. I think if you've got the time, just take time, because you can't really get to know a place unless you spend a few days. I mean, even just spending a few days is very little time, but if you're there overnight, you just don't get a sense of the place at all. So I just recommend, if you've got time, just make it more about the journey and not the destination.
Absolutely, yes.
I can't wait to pick your brains, both of you, about some of the experiences and places that you've been to, and perhaps some of the things that people haven't even heard of, seeing as you've been up and down and crisscrossed and done all the things that the rest of us are wanting to do.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so lucky if you get the opportunity to do it. I don't know, I'd hardly seen any of Australia before we did this, so it's just amazing.
Fantastic. Alrighty, well, Paronella Park it's the 1st of May, is it?
That's right.
1st of May, and going through until...
End of October.
End of October. So there's plenty of time for people to get there, and make sure you make a booking. We'll go online. We'll put the website up on our website as well, and Facebook page, so that everybody knows where to go and what to do. Sarah and Joel, String Family, thank you so much, guys, for your music and just for your time as well, telling us all about your adventures.
Yeah, your inspiration.
Thanks for having us.
Good, and keep getting...
See you on the road.
See, on the road, exactly. Try and catch us if you can. Thanks, guys.